Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are undertaking a fascinating deep dive, not into a huge book or, dense research, but something quite different. We've got a single source, but it's really revealing the sitemap for Crystals by Rob. And, well, what it lays out is way more than just an online crystal shop.
Oh, absolutely. The moment you read their purpose, you realize this isn't just retail. They're not just aiming to be a vendor. They explicitly call themselves a sanctuary, a community, and an educational platform. It's like a whole ecosystem they're building.
Right. Built around a very specific idea.
Exactly. That's the core of it all, really.
Yeah.
The central philosophy seems to be that crystals, because of their, quote, unique energetic properties and ancient history, are powerful tools
Tools for what, specifically?
for self-discovery, healing, and connection to the universal energies.
Hmm.
So they're positioning themselves not just as sellers of pretty rocks, but as essential guides to a deeper spiritual practice.
So our mission today for you listening is to kind of peel back the layers, right? Go beyond just the product listings.
Yeah, we want to extract the real scope of this operation. Look at the specialized, sometimes pretty non-traditional services they offer, and also maybe touch on the huge logistical setup needed to support this vision globally.
That contrast is interesting, the sort of ethereal service versus the very real-world back end.
Precisely.
So looking at the whole sitemap, what really jumps out first isn't necessarily the crystals themselves, but just the sheer ambition of it all. This platform is aiming to foster personal growth, spiritual awakening, and holistic well-being. And they're clearly trying to take that mission worldwide.
Yeah, the global aspect is genuinely fascinating. You have this retailer primarily selling minerals and doing energy work, right?
Yeah.
But they've built their platform with the kind of global reach you'd maybe expect from, I don't know, Amazon or a
And-
major travel site.
Exactly. You click on the drop-down menus for country and currency, and it's exhaustive. I mean, truly, they've configured the system for shipping, taxes, payments for places ranging from the Oran Islands and Afghanistan, using Afghani, mind you, all the way to Vanuatu and Vatican City.
That kind of back end,
Hmm.
that's a serious investment. Financial, technical, it's not trivial. It makes you ask, why would a business based on essentially stones and distant healing pour resources into supporting dozens of really niche currency systems?
Well, it seems to connect directly back to their mission, doesn't it? That universal connection idea.
Yeah.
If you believe your service offers that connection, you kind of have to demonstrate universal commercial accessibility, too. It suggests they really believe in, or at least are strategically targeting, a truly global market for this stuff.
And they don't just rely on the website itself. They bolster this platform idea through, constant engagement. The source material mentions active social media, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, even Tumblr. That's a wide net they're casting.
Keeps them visible, keeps people coming back to the main platform.
Right. And the final piece, structurally, is that recurring revenue angle. They offer a Crystals by Rob's subscription.
Ah, the subscription box model.
Yeah.
Ah, turns a one-off purchase buying a crystal into an ongoing relationship and income stream.
Exactly. Okay, so let's shift from the structure and sales part to the actual services, because this is where it gets really specialized.
Yeah, this is where they move beyond just selling the physical objects into offering this specific, often quite unconventional energy work.
The service menu is definitely eye-opening. It moves past the basics, like guided meditation or general energy balancing, really quickly. We're getting deep into some advanced energetic concepts here, and they're monetized as, premium services.
Okay, so let's tackle some of the jargon. The most specialized thing listed seems to be this Arcturian connection. They specifically list an Arcturian Reiki attunement 420D frequency certification. Now, Arcturian, for listeners who might not know, usually connects to belief systems involving interstellar or non-Earth-based energies, right?
That's generally the context, yes. So they're not just doing energy work. They're claiming access to and certifying others in a very specific high-frequency, non-traditional energetic lineage. It's a big claim about their practitioner's specialization.
A substantial claim. And this focus on specialization carries through in the other sessions, too, like the Christic Arcturian chakra unification attunement and entity removal.
Right, entity removal. That definitely raises the stakes beyond just, say, simple aura cleansing. Based on the term, it suggests their framework includes dealing with what they perceive as negative or non-beneficial spiritual influences, diagnostics, intervention. It's a whole system for spiritual defense.
It's a comprehensive approach.
Yeah.
They also have things that sound a bit more maybe familiar, like energetic protection from negative energy sessions.
Yes, and Aura balancing crystal grid distant healing. The distant healing part is key too. Shows the services are designed for that global reach we talked about, matching the logistics.
It really covers a lot of ground. They bring in sound healing with Angel Tuning Fork sound healing session, intuition work with a pendulum reading.
And then you have the complementary stuff listed. Crystal Reiki, aromatherapy, color therapy, and even something called crystal fairy healing.
Crystal fairy healing, okay. It really feels like they're trying to ensure that almost any holistic or spiritual need someone might perceive, they've got an offering for it, a one-stop shop.
That seems to be the strategy. Whether you need a cosmic frequency certification or help with a perceived negative energy, they position themselves as the place to go. That breadth is a core strength.
Okay, so let's talk about the actual crystals then. Because the collections themselves aren't just listed as products, they're deeply tied into these metaphysical claims. The site map breaks them down by material, shape, and, crucially, their supposed power.
And those powers can be incredibly specific, sometimes even bordering on physical health claims. That's important to note. Take actinolite, for example. The sitemap description claims it strengthens the immune system, stimulates the kidney, liver, and spleen function. That's a very direct physiological claim for a mineral.
Wow, okay, that's quite direct. And you compare that to something like agate.
Right. Agate is described more generally grounding, stabilizing, balancing, more foundational terms.
And selenite.
Known for purifying properties. Geodes are valued for grounding energy. So the claims seem tailored, suggesting a kind of formal system or taxonomy of powers they're using.
And this formality extends to the shape, too, right? It's not just aesthetics.
Exactly. Within their system, the form seems to dictate or channel the crystal's power. It implies that choosing a crystal isn't just about liking the look, it's about selecting the right energetic tool for a specific purpose.
You see that clearly in the shape collections. Spheres, for instance, are noted for unique metaphysical properties and healing, generally seen as diffusing energy outwards evenly.
Yeah, it reflects that universal connection theme again, whereas towers or crystal points are seen as focusing or channeling energy. Better for intention setting, maybe.
One spreads, the other targets. Makes sense in that context.
And then sign shapes take on symbolic meaning. They sell moon-shaped crystals, representing the archetype of the divine feminine.
Connecting the physical item to broader spiritual ideas.
And even bowls made of stone are listed as having unique metaphysical properties, maybe for use in rituals or charging other items.
Okay, so if the specialized healing is the advanced practice and the crystals are the tools, what about learning how to use it all?
That brings us to the final pillar, the educational content. This isn't just an add-on. It looks like a core part of the whole system, designed to draw people in deeper.
Right. The informational pages and the blog categories, they seem to be actively training clients in specific practices. They offer standalone guides on things you'd need for self-practice, like creating your book of shadows, hand mudras, rune oracle reading, and space clearing, plus more general stuff like powerful self-healing.
By providing these guides, they empower customers to adopt a formal practice. And naturally, that practice often requires the tools, the crystals, the bowls, the spheres.
And maybe eventually the specialized services like the attunements or that entity removal we mentioned. It's a complete funnel.
Seems like it. And the blog curriculum is, well, impressively diverse. It mixes the metaphysical beliefs, auras, chakras, manifestation, rituals, with very practical how-to stuff.
Like specific instructions on crystal programming and cleansing or creating intention balls, things you actually do.
Yeah. But what really shows their niche focus is the mention of an extensive series dedicated entirely to teaching crystal witchcraft.
Crystal witchcraft. So they're carving out a specific identity within the wider metaphysical market.
Definitely. And interestingly, they try to ground some of this. They have blog posts on the geological properties of crystals and the history of crystals through the ages.
Bringing in a bit of science and history, maybe to add context or perceived legitimacy to the metaphysical claims.
That would be the likely function, yes.
Yes. So putting it all together, synthesizing this whole site map, what's the big picture? It really seems like a blueprint for a highly integrated operation, configured for a global audience. It bundles these really specialized energy services, like the Arcturian stuff, with physical product sales, and wraps it all in this extensive educational program focused on holistic well-being.
Absolutely. The sitemap isn't just an index. It's like the operating manual for a whole spiritual ecosystem. You can go there for actinolite based on a specific health claim, or buy a spiritual defense service like entity removal, or take a certification course in a specific frequency. That seamless blend of tangible product, bold claims, and specialized intangible services. That's the real mastery here from a business model perspective.
It really highlights the meticulous organization needed to offer these highly specific, very intangible services like Arcturian attunements alongside physical rocks to potentially anyone anywhere in the world needing dozens of currency options. It's quite something.
It forces you to think about the modern spiritual seeker, doesn't it? This setup suggests that today's seeker demands not just, authenticity or specialized knowledge, but also the kind of seamless global logistics you expect from any major online retailer.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point.
So the provocative thought maybe is, what does the sheer necessity of this complex logistical infrastructure? The currencies, the shipping, the global reach tell us about the current state and organizational needs of even the most ancient or esoteric belief systems when they operate in today's hyper-connected, globalized marketplace. Definitely something to mull over.